I think, well, we showed the first 8 minutes of the movie,
Okay.
which is very exciting for us because we've been living with it for a long time.
We announced
And
one
I-
of our cast, right? Who's on
Jimmy?
stage, yeah?
Yeah, so Jimmy Simpson, who plays Mary Lightly on and off for us throughout the years, announced that he appears in the movie. I don't think that was out there yet until today. We're holding on to a couple of surprises in terms of people that maybe pop up in the show that you've seen before, but have yet to be announced. And what else could we? And in the 8 minutes that we showed, I think it's safe to say that you find out that Gus has a new job in San Francisco. That is separate and apart from Psych. We see that Sean is still taking cases. We see that he's on a case of some sort that is a little mysterious to us at this moment. We don't know what the case is about, or who's hiring him, or who's chasing him. But he is being chased in that first scene, and he shows up at Gus's new place of employment. So we see a little bit of that, and I think that's about all the surprises we've talked about. The blueberry is not back.
It was destroyed.
It was destroyed, and I think last time you saw them, they were in the driver's ed car. 2 steering wheels, which does make a return in this movie.
What scene are you most looking forward to the fans seeing?
Let me think about that.
Jimmy Simpson and James together.
Yeah, let's say that. We can't say how it occurs because Jimmy's dead.
Yeah. Yes.
Not in the scene, but supposedly his character's dead. So they come together in a scene in some fashion, and it's disturbing, it's hilarious, it's adorable.
It's a little amuse-bouche.
Yeah. It's fun.
One more scene.
We did reveal today that there is more than one person on the panel today that sings in the movie in some fashion.
Will we get new Gus nicknames in the film?
You will. How could you not?
They were in that, the old ones were in that clip you guys showed them getting ready.
Yeah. They did some there, but you'll hear some new ones.
So after 3 years of finishing the show, why now? Why have the reunion now? What was it that made you guys say, hey, let's get a cast back together and do it for the fans?
Look, I think we were talking about it when we finished the show. We're lucky enough to end up with a cast and a group of people behind the scenes that all really loved each other, and I think everybody, sometimes in Hollywood, people get antsy, they get onto a series, actors sometimes feel like they're stuck in those characters, they get worried about being stereotyped, and then they oftentimes start thinking about how they can get off of a show, like, if it's not a huge success. And sometimes even if it is, because they get worried that they're going to be that forever. And I think the nature of being an artist, too, is to evolve, right? So there's something kind of organic with actors and writers and directors where they're like, all right, I've done this for 20 episodes or 30 episodes or 100 episodes, like, I gotta move on. And I think with this group of people, everybody just knew what they had. They had a show where they could play, they could do drama, they could do comedy, they could do, be in a Western one week and in space the next week, almost. And everybody really loved each other and loved being around each other, and everybody really appreciated the gig, So everybody, I think, was excited to come back, and would have been excited to come back after 6 months off in some fashion. But we're really excited after 3 years.
So in the last episode, you sort of made an allusion to another USA network program that will be live. So is there going to be any crossover?
I don't think there is going to be. we did think it would have been really funny when our guys showed up in San Francisco. And I think there was a comment about it. Like, well, we already have somebody here. We thought it would be really fun, but we're not sure that Tony would think it would be that fun. So I don't know.
What's it like
If he's ready to put the
Zachary-
outfit back on and play that character, we're ready to play.
What was it like casting Zachary Levi and bringing him in on this whole process of the show?
You know what was cool is that Zach, we've known Zach because of Comic-Con mostly for years, and we'd go and do the panels, the smaller panels at Nerd HQ, and go to his parties, and got to know him. And of course, we knew that he sang, so there was always a conversation about, well, if we ever do a musical, maybe we can get Zach to come and do it. And we knew that there was a lot of crossover audience between the Chucksters and the Psychos. And so there were several times where we were like, maybe Zach will come and do this. And it kind of never worked out schedule-wise. And it almost worked out for a musical, and then it didn't, because I think he was in Europe at the time doing Thor. And so that didn't work out. So this was kind of obvious when we were doing this. We were like, well, maybe this is an opportunity. So we reached out to Zach, and he immediately was like, this is awesome. I'm in. I got a call from his agent at one point going, yeah, so he really wants to do this. Because I'm sure they sit around and talk about, like, you're a movie star, and you should do this, and like, let's do this, and we're going to build this series around you. And he's like, I want to do this guest spot in this movie for USA. And they're like, okay. But he's a smart guy, and I think he knows that that not only did we all like each other and want to play, but that it was really great for his fans and our fans, and the future of maybe a Chuck movie. I don't know, the more I think that these kind of reunions go on, the more they can happen for other shows, which is kind of exciting. So it was fun. We had a lot of fun with Zach.
Last question, guys.
Kelly
There's
has to
a
answer
lot of 80s references in the original show. Can you tell us, do you have any 80s references or famous 80s guest stars from the movies, from the 80s movies that are coming on to the movies?
I will say yes. Well, I think it has been leaked that Ralph Macchio appears in the movie, so I think he counts. And absolutely, there's references for sure. One thing that Steve and James, I think, did an amazing job with was trying to check every box in case this is the only and last time that Psych ever happens. Just in case, they checked every box to make sure. Well, we gotta have, there might have to be a pineapple. There might have to be this is my partner 3 or 4 times. There might have to be a what. There might have to be a fist bump. There might have to be me screaming. There might have to be. So we really went down the list and found places for all that. So I think everybody that likes all the little Easter eggs, and there's a few really, really deep Easter eggs.
Especially in the casting.
Yeah, there's some casting. There's some local Vancouver casting that if you pay attention, you'll be like, oh, that guy was, wait a second. So there's some really, really fun stuff for everybody. And we had a fun time doing that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.